Hi, Ilia here, GIO Landscapes, and it's a beautiful spring day. Doing a bit of herbal planting. Um, as it's a bit chilly, but great for planting so the plants don't dry out. Um, got my usual workwear that I use it for my landscaping, gardening work as well. Great for gardening too. T-shirt, fleece, jacket, workwear, trousers, and steel-toe cap boots. But steel-toe cap boots aren't really necessary for a bit of gardening. So I've got the lemon mint and curry plant. Curry plant, Latin name Helichrysum italicum, and lemon mint Monarda citriodara. Nearby I've got my hyacinths still flowering. Daffodils have finished flowering in my garden. Got the grape hyacinths, and these hyacinths smell amazing. Some other people have still got the daffodils flowering. Here are the neighbours' daffodils still flowering, looking amazing and beautiful. So, back to planting. Tools I've got, as I haven't got secateurs, so I've just got some scissors to do a bit of trimming, and my trusty Spear & Jackson's shovel, made in England. Would love to have more Great Britain manufacturing. The lemon mint has got roots, but the curry plant is just cuttings. These are the lemon mint was just a weed growing in a customer's garden that they didn't need them disposed of, but I could use them for making mojito. And the curry plant, well, making a bit of curry. Also, they smell great, nice flowers for the bees. Would be amazing. Going to plant them under this big rose shrub that needs a bit of pruning later. So I need to, in the midst, so it's going to be sheltered here and nice moist soil so the wind doesn't spoil the cuttings. Just got to take out the weeds first. Now that the ground is mostly prepared, it's ready for the planting. I'll put the cuttings at the front of the rose shrub and the lemon mint at the back where they're a bit more sheltered so they don't dry out. So I'm just going to loosen the soil slightly with the shovel. So I can just dig in the cuttings. I'm just going to take out a few little bits of rubbish. Hate rubbish, bad for animals. Just take all that out. Put that in my pocket for now. Put that in the bin, recycling bin. Now, gonna stick in the cuttings in the moist soil where it's sheltered by the rose plant. There's one in. Hopefully that will root in this moist soil where it's sheltered from the wind as well, as the wind will dry out. And also I've got to trim off the leaves because that will just dry out the cuttings, and also the leaves die off anyway, so I could just use them for curry. And this one next to it, like that, a few inches deep. And as I haven't got secateurs, I'll just use the scissors and trim off the few dead branches as well. Trim off the top, the bit that usually dies off. Use that for curry. There we go. And trim off this about here. Use that for cooking. And this bit I can also have as an extra cutting, if I can just get through that with these scissors. Haven't got secateurs, had to make do with what I got. Okay, with the bottom end sticking in, not the top end. There we go. That's these cuttings done. I'll just water the soil shortly. Okay, and now the lemon mint to the front of the rose. So this is the other side of the rose overgrown shrub that needs trimming, pruning later. Got my tomato bag of compost. That's the good compost. Unlike the usual topsoil, there's bits of rubbish, bit of fence panels, chemicals that are not so great, not so good for fruit and veg. This is great for fruit and veg that I'm planning to use for plant pots indoors, where I'm going to plant some of the mint that I've got left over, and of course this mint I'm going to make mojitos with. Love mojito, making it nice and fresh. Got the mint, limes, custard sugar, bit of Bacardi, and some soda water, a little bit of soda water. Okay, so I've got this bag that I can use for kneeling on for now. Just move that. I'm going to take out a few weeds. Maybe I should wear gloves, but it's okay. Just use my hands. Got a few stems of peppermint. The top stems usually die off, so just dispose of those. Remove the planters. Got to do a bit of tidying here as well, so I'll just put the planters out of the way. And loosen the soil with the shovel so that I can actually plant the lemon mint here with the roots intact. Okay, I'm gonna pause and loosen the soil with both hands. Back in a sec. Alright, so I've loosened the soil. Now it's time for planting these. Gotta be gentle. Might be worried about, is there enough sun? It's okay. As long as it's got a bit of sun, should be fine for the mint. It's gonna grow wild anyway. Just do it with my hands. The classic way. God, do I love the classics. Individual roots. I'll just plant a bunch, as long as the roots are in the ground. There we go. And a few more. Got a few flowering plants nearby as well. Just gotta keep them trimmed back so that they don't overgrow the mint. I want the more mint for my mojitos, the better. And the last bunch. Plant them nice and deep, being gentle with the roots. I want it to establish as quick as possible, so I've got to keep them intact. There we go. Just consolidate the soil a bit, like that. So there's no air pockets or wet water could get trapped and rot the roots. There we go. So the water can actually flow through the soil and get to the plants. And now, oh, that's a nice green van nearby. There we go. Now it's time for watering. There we go, just using the water out of a hose. Like that. And as I said, as it's spring, that'll keep them moist as well. It's going to be a lot of rain. There we go. Also a bit on the curry plant. There we go. A little bit on the curry plant cuttings as well. Not too much, as cuttings don't need much moist soil, it'll just rot them. There we go. And that's it. Thank you very much. Cheers.